What's going on, guys? This is Empty Box, and this is iRacing IndyCar Oval Fixed Series from Charlotte Motor Speedway, where today we got a 50-lap race starting from 22nd position because qualifying is overrated. And, well, yeah, it's going to be interesting. I guarantee you that one. I'm recording this commentary after the race. I'm actually having to go back and record the race from a replay because my live recording got messed up in a couple of different fashions. But this race is definitely worth salvaging, and I think you guys will hopefully agree. So, because of that, things are recorded a little bit differently. Things that I don't typically do are being done, such as hands on the steering wheel, and the virtual mirror is totally screwed up. There's no relative timing display. There's no spotter sounds. But you guys will be able to figure it out anyways because it should be relatively simple and straightforward. So anyways, we're getting ready to go green, and no, I did not jump this start one bit at all. Yeah, I don't even know. Half the field just did not go at all. So I figured, hey, you know what? Green flag is out. We can pass to the right, and that's what we will do. At this point, I'm really just trying to figure it out and feel out the track because Charlotte actually, for whatever reason, here in iRacing seems to be more multi-groove racing than any other track within iRacing. I guess it just has to do with the general geometry of the corners. At least with the stock cars, it's one of the more racy tracks, so I'm just kind of figuring out how this race is going to play out. And right now, it's looking like we're going to have a bunch of swarm racing going on, which is always fun. Everybody likes some swarm racing. And with that, the first yellow is out. I'm going to actually make a pit stop up here that I'll probably actually cut out just for the sake of time, but I didn't notice it at the time. However, the wreck happened right behind me is the guy that was next to me to the right of me that you guys may or may not have been able to see. He basically smacked the wall coming out of turn 4, piled up, and then, 8 cars Indy fixed right into him because that's what happens in the Indy Fixed series. Although I did have to laugh when he put a text message that you guys won't see again, but saying, Elisa went wheel to wheel with Empty Box, but she put it in the wall, so you really didn't do all that well there, dude. Sorry, but I'm going to have to call you out on that one. I did find that funny. I did chuckle a little bit, but yeah, we've made good ground up here for this first little stint here. I'm kind of figuring at this point, seeing how the wreck was behind me. I didn't really realize it was directly behind me, but looking at the relative timing display, I figured, hey, you know what? There's not a lot of cars behind me, so I can go ahead and make a pit stop. Probably not lose too terribly much position. Tires aren't a huge deal on the IndyCar here in iRacing, but at the same time, if I can have free tires, I might as well go ahead and take free tires because free tires are better than tires that you have to pay for. So we're going to drive down this very empty pit road As you can see, there's only one guy ahead who decided to take tires. But we come in, make our pit stop. We'll lose, I believe, 1 or 2 positions on the track, and then we will go ahead and rejoin the race and get going from there. Alrighty, first restart of the race. The 3-car directly in front of me, the blue and yellow Wrangler sponsored 3-car, doing it for Dale, indeed. But he was the other car that took 4 tires at that previous caution flag. He was the other car. He was further up in the pack than I was, so he lost a lot of track position. I'm not sure why he did it, but I figured, hey, this guy's got fresh tires, so let's just try and follow this guy. So with that, the green flag is out, and let's get rolling. For the record, that was a 0X. Finally passed the 23 car. I don't know what it was, but that guy in particular, it just seemed like I just couldn't pass as efficiently as what I felt I could have. I don't know what it was, but job well done to you, sir. Like I said, for some reason I just couldn't pass the 23 as we make mincemeat of this guy. at this point in the run, our tires are no longer basically God mode compared to everybody else. If we want to pass, we're going to have to actually work for it. It's one of the things that with the fixed series I really don't like at all, because aero push is definitely a thing. Dirty air is a huge factor, and that's why you can see so many cars running so spread out, because you really can't get any closer unless you're a lot faster. Like that 3 car up there. I don't know how that guy was just picking people off with this setup, because as soon as you get behind someone, this car just becomes a dump truck, to say the least. With the open series, you can just fix it with a couple of clicks of weight jacker to deal with it a little bit better. But yeah. At this point, I'm basically saying, okay, if we can get by this 20 car, that's great, but we need a caution. We need to cool the tires off, and then we can go forward a little bit more. Flat traffic. So the 20 car is seemingly slowed down a little bit, and of course because I'm so pro, I decided to put the car on the apron and we bobble, and fortunately we live to tell the tale, because generally hitting the apron at 215 miles an hour, not so good things happen. But we've caught up with this 20 car. It seems like he's having his own little issues. I'm figuring, hey, maybe we can get this guy. We still need a caution, we still need a yellow, because obviously the field's strung out at this point. There's not much we can do. We might pick off another position or two, but we need some help if we're going to go forward. So we're going to get by this 20 car as he basically leaves the door open, and we're going to hopefully catch up to the car in front of us or get a yellow. Turns 1 and 2 there might not look like a lot, but that really says a heck of a lot. Here in 3 and 4, the car is going to be mysteriously super tight. So the car was super loose in turn 1 and 2 out of the blue, and super tight in turns 3 and 4, which to me says that iRacing tire wear just kicked in because it likes to do that all of a sudden out of nowhere, which is quite puzzling, but that's just how it works. So at this point I'm thinking, okay, well, the field is very strung out. There's not a high likelihood of wheel-to-wheel contact, you know, cars racing with one another causing a yellow. But maybe we're getting to that point where the tires are just totally cooked off and it's going to catch someone out and they're going to spin and park it on the track basically and bring out a yellow. So maybe there's still hope for a yellow, even though we really are just losing ground and holding on for dear life right now because this car just is not driving the way I want it to, and I'm not doing very good at driving it. You'll notice a car down there on the apron. Yep, yet another free position. As I said, it's to that point where the tires are doing their goofy thing where they randomly just do goofy things and you just basically hope to goodness that it all works out. So at this point I'm thinking, okay, there could be a caution. Nearly put it on the wall coming out of turn 4 there, like really close to putting it in the wall. And there you can see by the flashing LEDs on the steering wheel, the caution is out, which is exactly what we need because we need to catch up with these people. And as well as the fact we need to get off these tires because we're going absolutely nowhere. Get some fresh rubber on there and see what we can do. So of course, in typical IndyCar oval fixed series fashion, the whole field's just totally not bunched up at all and just generally making for a mess coming into the pits. Looks like pretty much everybody's going to make a pit stop and then a couple of cars peel off at the last minute, thinking that they're all smart and clever. We'll see how well that works out for them. Again, this is the IndyCar, so having fresh tires isn't the biggest deal in the world, although it definitely does help. But only a couple of cars stayed out. In the end, we end up actually coming out ahead through the pit stop exchange. We go in behind the 6th car and some other guy, and we come out behind them, although we did gain a few positions. So I think a couple cars either missed their pit box or had some minor damage from scraping the wall to repair or something like that. So all in all, a positive pit stop. We come out 7th place with about 12 laps to go. We'll take the green with about 10 to go. So it's about that time where things are heating up, especially with 2 cars out front that have old tires. Okay, it's officially go time. The 3 cars at the front of the pack are on old tires. The 3 cars in front of me behind the top 3 are on new tires, but those cars in front with the old tires, those are going to be difficult for everybody to get by. There's still cars out there on the track, so it's going to make for a heck of a lot of swarm racing. 6th car lays back a heck of a lot to try and jump the start, goes absolutely nowhere, causes all sorts of chaos, is totally counterproductive, so please stop laying back on the start because it really doesn't work as well as what you think it does. Yes, it really annoys me when people do that, but we're going to go ahead and dispose of that 6th car, and, well, at this point I'm looking at the leaders and I'm just seeing all sorts of shenaniganry. Swarm racing is in full effect. Something big is going to happen. We ain't going green the rest of the race. Spidey senses are tingling. Now keep in mind this is recorded from the replay, so this is technically what the server actually saw basically. But while I was actually driving, the undies were soiled. I'm not even joking. That I didn't get a contact, even a 0x from that crash, but it is a heck of a lot closer in actual gameplay than what it actually seemed in this. Like, I thought, sure enough, I just totally ate it in that wreck, and everything just got wadded up and thrown away. Instead, that took out 2 cars that were in front of me, plus 1 car that I was in the process of passing, as well as it makes it. Car in the lead right now is on old tires. Guy in second has fresh tires. Third place has old tires. I have fresh tires. We're going to have 3 laps to go with the natural green-white checker. It's go time. So here's the final restart. Any yellow will end the race, will freeze the field right there. So we basically need to go forward as quick as possible because we want to win this race, and it is something that is very doable. The leader has old tires. Second place is my biggest fear because he does have the new fresh tires, but we're close enough that we can slipstream. We really need to get the restart down, not banging off the limiter. Just go through the gearbox nice and smoothly and pass everybody as soon as we can and waste no time at all. Up to third. The leaders are still duking it out. I'm really liking where I'm at right now. 2 laps to go. Up to second, white flag in the air. Final lap. Gonna have to do it around the outside. Challenge accepted. And by 1/2600th of a second, 1 empty box goes round the outside, round the outside, round the outside for the win from 22nd position. I will take that each and every day of the week. Very fun race to be a part of. Here's the last restart from the external TV cameras, just that way you can hopefully better grasp what happened. But yeah, fantastic racing. Don't even care about the shenaniganery after the flag. I'll actually put a link down in the description so you can watch his reaction to how this race unfolded, which is pretty hilarious in its own right. You can find that in the description, but he was looking to the right, crossing the line. I was actually looking to the left, crossing the line, and he wasn't paying attention to where he was going. He drove through the infield, and that's that, but who cares? Fun racing is fun racing. Screw the safety rating. It's a made-up number that doesn't matter anyways. So, hope you guys enjoyed. Roll on the Carnage Report. Bye.